Sheet Talkers. What up, B?
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me tonight, Sandy. Hello, Eric.
So, welcome back, kids. Welcome back to another episode of Sandy Talks Sheet, doing what I do best. You know, if I got paid for talking sheet, I'd be a millionaire. Not even kidding. Not even kidding. Too bad I can't get paid for it. So before we get started, guys, make sure you hit the like, the love, the care, and share away. Hey, Anita.
And
oh my
subscribe.
gosh. So I spoke to Anita today. I let her down today. I put her, I needed to call her, and I turned my page in my notebook, and it took me a few days to get back to that page. Anita, thank you for being so patient with me. Love you. Hey, Raquel Harris. She says, hey, B.
Hi. Hello, Raquel. Thanks for joining us tonight. Should be an interesting episode.
Oh, look at her. She's like, oh, and Eric and Sandy. Hey. Oh, hey. How's it going, Raquel?
Smooth there, Raquel. Nice recovery.
Right. What up, CPJ? She says, woohoo, being the assistant. How's it going, CPJ?
Hello.
Hey, how about this
CPJ,
heat? Go ahead, B. Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, no, you're good. I was just going to say, CPJ, I'm loving the little blue that you have in your blonde hair. I love it for the summer.
Isn't it so cute?
It is cute.
Let's see. Eric's over here messing with my stuff. Calm down. Hey, Joanne.
We need two mouse.
Thank you for coming in here. She says, hey, sorry I missed you last night. I babysat and I was so tired I fell asleep. Listen, Joanne, I'm with you. Like, I'm not cut out to be babysitting. Oosh, my goodness, these little babies. My favorite Morgan in the world. How are you, Morgan? I just love you so much. And Johnny Cash says hello. So, hey, guys, before I start, listen, I am having one of the best. You get these at Costco. It's a slushie, okay? But I had to put it in a cup just because this cuts my lip. But anyway, 8% alcohol by volume in this little sucker. So good. I feel like these always prep me to give you good advice. What do you think?
Prime. it's the prime that we all need.
Yes, and y'all need these. And these were like $20 for I don't know how many. And if you're
50.
Whatever, that's not true. And if you're watching your calories or whatever, only 100 calories. So anyway, y'all should totally have them.
So you can skip all meals and just drink 20 of those.
Yes, you can drink all of these. Not recommended if you work. Do what, B?
That you can add it to your water like an infuser, just let it
Yes.
throughout the day.
Take it with you to work. Oh my God.
You don't even have to freeze them. Just make them cold and drink them like wine.
Yeah. And so anyway, so I have mine in here. So, I'm going to get a brain freeze. Oh my gosh. So Raquel says, hey, Morgan Bernard. And Morgan says, hey, girl, hey. Oh, Raquel, let me tell you, Costco, you know it's our favorite place to shop. Hold on a second. Kirkland. And this is watermelon hibiscus. And you need it for this.
Variety pack.
Yeah, it's a variety pack. So get these. And this is not a paid, but if you want to, Kirkland's, holla. Tammy, you made it. Oh my gosh, you just made my night. How's it going, Tammy? And yeah, you do need that at work because it's so hot. That's your excuse. It's just so hot. You need it.
I just thought it was a regular popsicle. I didn't know it had alcohol in it.
I thought it was an Otter Pop for my children. They are so great. They are so great. So guys, today you guys are in for a treat because back by popular demand, I am giving you my sheety advice, okay? I know y'all love to hear me give out unsolicited 2-cent opinion advice.
You should call it Who Gives a Sheet?
Yes, who gives a sheet? That's so good. What do I pay you for? Why didn't you do that before the show? That'd have been great, Eric.
Because I took a little alcohol to get me going.
Oh my gosh. Tammy said she is loving life and suspicious of everyone. I know that's right. And y'all, Tammy wears some of the cutest. Let me just go ahead and tell her right now. And don't sell your stuff. Just call me first and I'll go shopping. Let me get first dibs on everything. But I like to do. Look at this. I love it. I give a sheet. Thanks, CPJ. So I did sign off, and I don't want to apologize. I did sign off last time, and I was like, let's keep talking shit. And I was like, oh, wrong sign off. Oopsies. I think I was sober. That's what's even bad about it. It's pretty sober.
And you were talking with your son.
Oh, and I was talking with my son. Yeah, well, he's hurt.
Oh.
So there's
Oh, Alex, or like which one?
yeah, he was on the show last week. What did we talk about last week? What was it?
The army stuff.
Oh, yes.
Fort Hood.
The girl that catfished the guy, he stayed with her and then she had him murdered. I mean, just ungrateful.
Oh, wow.
It was intense. And I thoroughly confused everybody. Oh, no,
Catfish two of them.
I wasn't sober. I was drinking.
Oh, yeah.
I
I
just
brought you a
remember
bottle of wine.
You brought me my bottle of wine. Yeah. No, I wasn't sober. But anyway, yeah, she catfished two guys. I mean, the girl was an expert con artist. Y'all need to watch it. Crazy. Episode season 26, episode 1. It's on Hulu. It's a snapped episode. Anyway, CPJ says he's had the chanclazo. He's heard some shit. Yeah, girl, for real. Yeah. He's been threatened with his life. All right. Yeah, for sure. B, tell us a little bit about you and when you became a sheet talker. The day you met me.
The day I was there. Since then, he got to babysit me for the first time.
Right. Been sheet talking ever since.
And she dropped me, everyone. She dropped me. But I'm okay. I came all right. So we're good.
And just to be fair, I've dropped every child. I've dropped all my cousins, so there's that. And I was sober.
So everyone, I'm B, or my name is Beatriz. But in West Texas, I go by B. A little bit about myself. I call myself a nomad because I just live somewhere for 3 years, then I move, I come back home, then I move again, then I do it all over. And been in social services. Now I'm in the flower delivery business, and yeah, I don't know really much about myself. I like to take long walks on the beach, and yeah, pretty basic person.
So B is like, I always tell my kids, I'm like, look, y'all be like B and travel. Do things, get it out of your system before you decide to settle down. That way you won't have any regrets. And so anyway, we love B, and I love that you're on my show tonight because I think that you'll probably have a good perspective when it comes to giving this advice. So
thank
you. One more comment here. B lives the best life, doing what she wants. Exactly. Be a little gypsy soul.
And when people ask me, where are you from? I'm like, a little bit of everywhere. Los Angeles, Miami, San Antonio, everything but Texas.
Right, Texas. Everywhere. We love Texas, but there's no beaches.
I know.
I mean, there's beaches. I mean, there's beaches.
Buffalo Beach.
There's Buffalo beaches.
I have not gone there. Do y'all recommend going there?
No.
No. Okay.
No. That was awful.
That was a definite no.
It was kind of an inside joke.
Yeah, well, remind me to tell you later about that, B.
Okay.
Anyway, so yes, no regrets. Anita says, love your laugh, B. Yes, it's super contagious, Anita.
Oh.
It's like yours. Is it going down? This broke chair. Okay, guys, are you ready? First question. Okay.
You want me to read it or no?
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I thought.
Eric's ready.
Oh, yeah. Right. Eric's like, let me read, girl.
Is this true? Asking for a friend. Oh, I don't know if that was part of it.
Yeah, it is. That's part of the question.
When you add a smiley emoji to a message, your recipient may not see you as warmer or more optimistic. Rather, you might be sending the message that you aren't serious and competent. In a recent study, researchers found those who read messages with smiley emojis rated the senders as less competent. Rated the senders as less competent.
Yikes.
B, go first with that. When you send an email, and you send emojis first of all?
Okay. Email, emojis, not professional at all. So I would not send an emoji in an email. Now, if it's a text message, yes. If I put the little smiley face or emojis, if I really don't have much to say or if I want to break the ice. But yeah, I mean, what was the question again? Like, do I send them or how do I feel?
It says, is it true? Do you feel that people who send smiley faces, smiley emojis are less competent than people that don't? Because some researchers found that they rated senders as less competent.
I think it depends on how well you know the person that you're sending the message to.
Yeah.
Because like if you're talking to a friend, then an emoji may be, that just may be how y'all communicate. But if you're like texting a stranger and you text a bunch of like, smiley faces and like whatever weird.
Oh,
Inappropriate. Let me, before we get, oh my goodness.
I'm gonna have to do the Heimlich over here.
It's like making me cry. Before we get any further, this is funny. Bunch of bitches, but no beach. True that, Joanne. True that.
Is that right, Joanne? Is that what we have in West Texas?
So I try to send professional emails every time. I only may have ever done like an emoji with an underwriter that I'm like super close to, and that's it. Like I don't ever send emojis in emails ever. Text messages though, that's off limits. I send emojis all the time. But yeah, I feel like emojis and emails aren't, and it's kind of like putting LOL in an email. I don't feel like using text verbiage in emails is not. And I don't know if I would say that person is less competent, but I don't feel like it's professional.
They're less competent at being professional.
Maybe. Okay, that's a good one. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
What about a GIF?
No, you can send that in text messages, but never in an email. One, I wouldn't even know how to put it in there, but still. So anyway,
a quote or something like you're trying to close it, but like not a GIF.
No. CPJ says, I handle 99% of my business via Messenger with 80% of people who do not know my voice or the way I talk. I always emoji simply because I want them to know I'm happy. Is it profesh? No. But does it make the messenger customer know me better? Yes. And so in your instance though, Carrie, I feel like it's totally acceptable because you're doing it through Messenger. And I mean, I feel like it's different than I versus an email. I think that's just my opinion though. Joanne says that's not professional and they may look and not sure about this person. Yeah, I agree. I feel like you have to know your audience, and typically in an email setting, you don't know your audience.
Well, it depends on how casual it is. Like if it's, I mean, depending on even as a, businesses like what Carrie does with her clients. I mean, that's it, versus like somebody, talking to somebody at a bank or something like that. It's going to be a completely different scenario. You know what I mean? So, one business owner or, one-on-one chat can go one way, depending on it all kind of just depends on the situation, I think.
Oh my goodness. Anita's coming in hot with, now I'll be sending all of you an email with a bunch of emojis. Anita,
that with a bunch of emojis.
Yeah, Anita, I can't wait to get your email. Can't wait. Okay, so next question we have here. Are you ready?
Yeah. I know this has been asked before, but I'm here to ask it again. What should my kids and I make/give my husband for Father's Day? We think he hung the moon, and I'm kind of at a loss what to do this year.
Underwear. Dads need underwear. Do you want underwear for Father's Day? Being a father. Yeah. Do you want underwear with our faces on it? With your kids' faces?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Okay, so being a father, please help these people out, what would you what things do you like to receive? And let me write this down.
Well, just I think it.
Take notes.
I guess you just got to pay attention to what the father likes. I mean, if they like to grill, then get them something grillish. And then if they like cars, then get them something about cars. And I mean, it's just, if they like Texas Tech football and basketball and baseball, then get them some
tickets.
Get them some tickets to this weekend's game.
Writing this down. I'm writing this down for all the other dads.
No, because
this guy is busy. Right. This guy has projects this weekend. B, what do you think? What do you primarily? What do you get for your father?
I want to piggyback off of what Eric said. Just saying what they are interested in. Like my dad, he's into playing the guitar, so maybe some accessories for his guitar or his space that he has, or grilling. But yeah, just finding what they're interested in, and maybe not like underwear, even though you can never run out of underwear or socks.
Even though they're holy, what?
But yeah, like for my dad, I mean, he does enjoy nice cold 6-pack, so definitely give him that. And he loves to snack, so maybe a gift basket with all his little favorite treats for those. And if you have kids, I would say for the kids, like to always do like a little card for the dad, just like acknowledge them, how much they mean to them. That always adds a little touch, because I feel like sometimes we just don't take the time to really show our fathers how much we really appreciate them. So.
That's true. And I feel like for Mother's Day, like we go, like dads go all out for Mother's Day. And dads are like, it's just another day, just another day.
Because that's like with our family get-togethers for Mother's Day, we always have a get-together. But for the dads, we really don't do anything in our family.
We don't. That's awful. What kind of family?
I know.
Maybe
we'll
next year, right? Maybe next year we'll get it together. We won't be here. Well, your parents won't be here. We won't be here.
Right. So next year.
That may have something to do with it.
Right.
But
and you're right, because usually the moms are gone, but the dads are still here.
Then
no excuse.
Then I just thought of this based on what B said. I mean, her dad, likes the, he enjoys a 6-pack or whatever. So you can pay attention to what the father in your life likes, and go out there and get him an expensive bottle of whatever he likes.
This is what Eric wants. Ranch water, hard seltzer. Mm-hmm.
I just bought the variety pack to see what it tastes like.
Is it good? What is that? What flavor is that?
It's my favorite, grapefruit.
Oh, yeah.
Grapefruit.
Let me catch up on some of these comments. CPJ says, correct, assistants. I've never emoji if my setting wasn't super casual. And she also said, if your name is Matt Jackson, you want ammunition, and right now that's a lot of dads do want that. I see them.
Good luck finding.
Yeah, I was going to say there's not a whole lot. So if you can find some, let the other dads know. Joanne says, a gift is what they like, not what you like. I buy gifts according to their interests and likes. Joanne, and I see that, but when I'm buying for my sister-in-laws, for anybody, like I buy stuff that I like because I know that they would love it. So that's just, but yeah, for a guy, I wouldn't be like, hey, look at this little shirt that I picked up at a boutique, because I know that they won't appreciate it.
If they like tequila, go get them a bottle of 1942.
Yes, Eric bought a very expensive bottle of tequila for his Father's Day 2 months ago.
He got a head start.
He got a head start. And oh my gosh, I can't wait. I actually got him a really cool gift, and it's going to be, part 1 is going to be delivered tomorrow. And now, you know what? I have the worst. Like, I second guess myself when it comes to gifts. Like, I'm like, oh, should I have gotten that? Now I'm like having like, oh, he's probably going to hate it. But you better love it, or else.
So. Or else you'll be on 2020.
Right. Or else you'll be on 2020. That's very good.
Snapped.
Yeah. I'll be an episode of Snapped. Okay. Next question.
All right. Needing some advice. Biting the bullet time to get my middle schooler a phone. But what did you get? What? But what did you get? I'm not getting anything fancy. And what did you install app-wise to keep tabs and any and all advice welcome?
B, I'll let you go first on this one. So a middle schooler, she's trying to get a middle schooler a phone.
What
What do you
kind of phone and what apps would you install to keep tabs on them?
Alrighty. So, okay, middle school is around, correct me if I'm wrong, so that would be 6, 7? Is that middle school?
Yeah, that'd be Jet.
6, 7, 8. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Well, kids these days are a little bit more advanced than me, the millennial, but we used to have flip phones and the razor, so we couldn't have apps. Let's see. If it's in middle school, that was a tough one because also too, how well do you trust your child? Do you feel like they're responsible enough to even take care of a phone? See, for me, if that was my child, I honestly would get them like the straight talk, simple phone.
The
middle
basic.
school, the basic? Because what do you really need a phone for at that time besides getting home? If you're, in sports, extracurricular activities. Yeah, I would say it's tough. I would go with just a basic phone that just had what they needed, where I can track their location. They can call, they can text, and maybe have an app or two, like maybe Instagram. But also I think I would be able to, with some services like Verizon where you can track how much usage they do and what apps they can download. Definitely all those parent controls I would install.
Yeah. You can definitely cut off their internet at 10 p.m.
And then just a perspective, just to shed some. B is not attached to her phone like some of us. Like I'll text B and like 4 hours later she'll respond, and I know that that's what B does because she's not attached to her. B will leave it and then just forget it. And then she's looking for it because she don't remember where she left it. So I could totally see her kid probably not having a phone. Maybe not even at this age. I'm not sure, B. But so say that again.
I was just gonna ask y'all because Cade, he's a sophomore now, but y'all went through this with him recently. Like, what age did you get him a phone, and how did you go about that decision to get a phone for him?
So I'm gonna start with Alex. So when Alex was 7, we made a very tough decision to get him a phone for parenting issues because his bio dad needed to get a hold of him. And so we're like, oh, okay, here is his phone so that you can call him directly and you don't have to worry about me possibly not answering. Only reason he ever even got a phone. So we did what you said, B. We got him a basic phone. And it was like you had 20 minutes for $100. And he would spend all those minutes calling me to ask me random things. So then we made another painful decision to actually put him on our plan and get him a regular phone. And at 8 years old, the kid had a phone, but it was so that his parent could reach him. Which that was the only reason. And then Cade, I don't even remember when we got him a phone and why we made the decision to get him a phone. I can't even tell you.
I don't remember.
But I can tell you that we did not put all the parental tabs on it when we got it for him. And that was a huge mistake. And he was in trouble for doing things that he should not have been doing on his phone. So now he has all the parental things. He's got cutoff times. He has to have approval for apps. We use Life 360, and he only uses Life 360 to stalk us. He never leaves the house or school, so we're good with him. He checks on us usually. We got Life 360 to check on Alex because he was a little bit more. He's my wild child, so and so we needed to keep tabs on him. But I would say do all parental locks on it if you can, if you have to get the smartphone, because sometimes I feel like those are probably cheaper than the plan as far as a smartphone goes, as far as a basic phone goes, or it might even be the same price. So I don't know. But good luck with that and
Yeah.
keep an eye. And there is no such thing as privacy. You check that
Jitterbug.
phone. Yeah, jitterbug where you can only call 4 people. Yeah. No, check those phones constantly. And I've missed some comments over here. Joanne is talking about I used to buy my dad 4 cases of beer for certain I don't know what she means by rack, but occasions. He quit drinking and now I just give him money. Yeah. You know what? Money's the best gift because you can buy whatever it is that you want.
Gift cards.
Yes. And Chon said, no, don't buy gift cards, like especially to Walmart. Do not. We had an incident really quickly. We bought a $50 gift card to Walmart for Eric's grandma because that was her favorite store. We gave her the card, and the next day someone had siphoned the money, and it was actually somebody in Midland. Walmart refused to reimburse us for that, even though they had the guy on camera that had it, and I still had the card. I hate Walmart's gift cards. No good. But anyway, so Joanne did not mean to say rack. She said damn phone. And Chon, hey, Chon, thanks for joining us tonight. And Miss Tammy coming in here with some wisdom. She said the number one rule with the phone was or is I can take up the phone at any time to look through it, even if you're holding it. If you even make the slightest move to try and take it back from me, it's over. I've never had an issue. Yeah. And yeah, like sometimes like if I'm looking through my kid's phone, he's like right on me and I'm like, dude, what is on this phone? Because don't make me find out. And he's like, nothing. And I'm like, yeah, you're too nervous for me. I don't appreciate that. So
And
definitely go ahead, Bea.
I was just gonna say kids are very smart because I've seen some TikToks where they hide, where the parent says, here's my phone, they hand it over and they hide some apps on their phones. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So if you watched the Chris Watts murder case, he actually had a calculator app. And in this calculator app, he had secret pictures of him and his lover, nude photos of her. So be on the lookout for suspicious apps. And that's why you need approval to download apps. So there's some tidbit of advice. It's probably more advice than you were looking for, ma'am. Hey, Sylvia Jennings. How are you, ma'am? Thanks for hopping in here. Okay, next question.
Moms with boys who have ADHD, especially in a toddler, how do you handle it? Sincerely, a tired mama who's losing it.
Ooh, ADHD. The Abbeys.
Yes. Yeah. So we have a ton of experience on this. And I wish that we would have known what we know now when my kids were toddlers. So both of ours were what's the word? Bundle of energy, to say the least. B had lots of babysitting experience with those two, and they were all over the place. And what I know now is that red dye, I know that people are not going to go gluten-free and dairy-free. So try to eliminate red dye from their diet as much as possible. I would highly suggest going gluten-free and dairy-free, but also get gut health. Get gut health checked, because a lot of times too, when your kids are not sleeping, it can mimic ADHD. So you all make sure before you put them on meds, try everything natural. Meds is last resort. We learned this the opposite, where we figured it out a little bit too late in life, but they had told us like about 3 to get Kate off of gluten and dairy. But taking him off of that has helped him tremendously. Like he went from C's and F's to now he's an AB kid, and he still takes a very minimal dose of Adderall, but he needs that for his math. I think he uses it kind of as a crutch. I feel like it's kind of a mental thing for him. I think he'd probably be a little bit more successful than he gives himself credit for. But yeah, definitely check your gut health. Red dyes, any kind of dyes, actually limit your sugar intake. Like those little juices that are red that have the hugs, any Hawaiian punches, take that out of your kid's diet. I promise it does a world of difference in here. So you have anything to add on to that? Close that door, baby.
I think it's really hard to tell when they're a toddler, ADHD versus just normal, normal energy. But well, I mean,
Take that back.
To a certain extent,
Because when we'd be in church, you could see these little kids just sitting there,
mm-hmm.
and then ours were just beat bopping all over the place, and you're just like, there's something wrong with our kid. But I mean, you could tell from just looking at them, like, oh dear God, they've got problems.
Well, I used to babysit this little girl back in Miami, and she was 4 when I first met her, and she's just full of energy. And I used to think it was because she's just full of energy. She has instability in her life. But then come to find out, like when it came to doing homework and stuff, she had a problem with just concentrating. And when I was talking to Sandy about it, she told me about like the red dye. And I used to give her those little gummies before we would get started on a task. And it helped a lot with her concentration, just removing that from her diet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was tough just getting her to do one thing and just having to repeat it and just have her concentrate on that and holding her accountable to finish that before she started.
Right, because we're all over the place. It's hard for us to stay on task. And anybody that's around me if I'm trying to work, I have to tell myself, focus, because I don't have a pill to help me. So I have to like make myself. And even at 39, I'm still telling myself, focus, Sandy, get back to work.
One of the biggest struggles with ADHD or that ADHD people that struggle with ADHD have is multi-step tasks that they're asked to do. And so, you may even give them a task in one simple phrase, like unload the dishwasher, right? But that requires multiple tasks to complete that one task. They have to go over to the dishwasher. They have to open the door. They have to pull out the thing. You got to take the plates and put them where the plates go, and take the cups and put them where the cups go, so on and so forth. And so, you just have to, with somebody who's ADHD, you have to kind of give them one task at a time, and to make sure that they stay, make sure that they can complete all the tasks that you want them to do. You can't tell them do this and then do this and then do this. Most of the time they're gonna,
it's basically setting them up for failure.
Yeah.
When you have those expectations.
Yeah. I mean, you can make them make them like a list of things to do.
So, because saying clean up your room is very generic.
Yeah, and it's overwhelming.
And it's overwhelming for me to even say when I'm going to clean up my room, but you have to break it down for them. So
smaller steps.
Anyway, yeah, it's a lot for ADHD. Definitely pick up a book and read on ADHD. And I know that it's a popular thing, and I've been tagged by certain people in things saying that ADHD is made up. I'm sorry, it's not. It's real. ADHD is real. Let me catch up on some comments here. Tammy says, I'm a juvenile probation officer and we do all sorts of training on hidden naps. Tammy, I'm going to have to pick your brain. I'm curious about this. Hey, Minnie, thank you for hopping in here. Chon says, no, thank you. I know that's right, Chon. And Joanne says, Evan did not get a phone until he turned 16 and started driving. And I put the fear of God in both driving and using his phone. And sometimes you have to instill the fear. They have to see how serious, texting and driving really is. Like, I have some stories for you being in insurance world of people texting and driving.
Shattered dreams.
Yeah, shattered dreams for real. CPJ has hopping in here. She says, did you find any parenting help support with parenting a child with ADHD, maybe in a book or podcast? I have a friend struggling. So we did not. I think we learned too late in life. And I say that for my boys, because I didn't have any advice with Alex. I didn't have any coping mechanisms, basically medicate and here you go. And with Cade, and I've told several of you his story. We went to get a second opinion based on some test scores. And so we went to Brain Balance, and that's where we found out like most everything that we know about it. Carrie, I'd be glad to talk to your friend, and I'm all over the place, but I'll eventually get to the point with her. But yeah, I'd be glad to talk to her about it, just because it's hard. It really is hard finding a support group, would you say? Because I I don't recall ever having.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them have been in school with with ADHD. We've had some wonderful teachers that helped us along the way with, especially with Alex. Alex was always my mini me, blurting, couldn't sit still. So the teacher made certain accommodations for him. But definitely speak with your, oh shoot, maybe is it 50? There's a classification that you get in school, 50C3 or something. I can't remember. Tammy, maybe you might know. You might have to deal with some of these kiddos. But you have like meetings and they monitor their progress, and they do give you some options for your ADHD kiddos. So, but anyway, if she has any questions, I could definitely help her answer what I know. All right, next question.
Okay. Say you're going somewhere. Your guy is driving and his friends are coming with. Who gets front seat privileges? Significant other or your friend or the friend?
It looks like y'all two have a story or something.
No, we don't.
Sandy typically will give up the front seat to, like, if there's
Like if my brothers are driving or riding with us, I usually sit in the back so they can sit in the front. It's roomier, they're taller, and I'll just sit in the back. Our chair is having problems. Eric's having issues. Sorry. Oh, here's the answer that Joe. Thank you, Joe. 504 modifications. Yeah, and so you'll have meetings and stuff, and it's really awesome because if your child needs to be read to during like his test, which K does have to be like his, what is that called now? The STAR test. So they'll like have different helping things for him. So definitely, Carrie, talk to the school, have her talk to the school about it. But anyway, so thank you, Joe, for that. Back to the who gets the front seat. I mean, I just sit in the back if it's my siblings or
if it's somebody that's tall
or somebody that's tall, just because, be more accommodating. What do you think, B?
I think it's just a case by case. Like if it's siblings or even like your significant other won't understand if you want to be with your friend and you just feel more comfortable in the back. To me, it's just not a big deal. It's just, you're getting point A to point B.
Yeah. I guess this person had a huge hang up on it. That's so weird that they would ask that question, but
I feel like they're getting demoted by sitting in the back.
Yeah. That's so weird.
I think there's something more in that.
Yeah, I feel like that too. There might be more to that. But yeah, there's
now if his friend was a girl.
Yeah,
that could be an issue.
Yeah, definitely. Joanne says, meds for this is the easy way, but true parents take the time to research and find another solution to help. And Joanne, I battled with when they diagnosed Alex like in third or fourth grade. And for a whole year, I had this prescription. And I promise you, I cried. Anytime that I would have to think about it, I would cry about it. I did not want to put him on meds, but I also didn't have any other options. They called me and they said, your son's taking his STAR test today. I'm like, okay, cool. They were like, he hasn't even started and it's 3:00. Like he has until 5:00 to finish. And I'm like, what? Like I had no idea how bad it was for him. And so that was when we made the tough decision to put him on meds. And probably about 2 weeks in, once it was in his body, he said, Mom, thank you. And I said, for what, baby? He said, because I feel like I don't have a lot of things coming into my brain at one time. So then I bawled again because I was like, here I was thinking like, I don't want him on meds because I didn't want him on meds, but I was not taking into consideration how much he needed meds. So it's a tough decision, that you have to make, but to, like you're saying, look for other options. If you can, if it's a possibility for sure. Let's see. Joe says, I never get to ride shotgun, so I have no idea because you're always driving.
That is true.
And then Joanne says, I take the back to sleep. Hey, that's smart. That is because you don't have to be, because if you sit in the front, then you have to be responsible. You have to be the navigator and helping and grab me this or I'm this. Oh, Good answer, Joanne. CPJ says, yeah, you're all getting there at the same time. Maybe the real problem is bigger than shotgun. Yeah, I think so. It's really weird. Like, yeah, I don't know why that one was asked. Okay. Next question.
Maria says, I meet a guy online, so this guy want me to meet him in his place. Is it okay to do something like that in your first date?
Let me go first. Hell no, Maria. Okay. Listen, I have a Sandy talk sheet for a reason. Okay. Murder. Okay. You never ever, this goes for everybody, not just Maria. You never ever meet anybody for the first time other than a public place. And do not meet him in an alley. Do not meet him. I mean, do not meet him at his place. Do not meet him at your place. You people are whack. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Sounds like you're doing Dr. Seuss. Don't meet him in a box.
Right. Maria, how old are you? Because if you have to be asking this question, Maria, you're not ready to go on a date. Okay. No, ma'am. I've heard a lot of horror stories on first dates. If you want to make it to your next date, Maria, I suggest you don't meet him anywhere other than a very, very public place. Okay. Anybody else have a differing opinion?
I agree, Sandy. I am, even if you know this person, like you met him through a mutual friend, I would still say you meet them there. Tell one of your girlfriends or your guy friends, you know, it could be either or. Just not let someone know your location, where you're at, just in case you don't want to be on an episode of Dateline. And especially for all, exactly. Yes, especially nowadays with like Tinder and all these apps, there's people on there with like background sex offenders. Like, you don't know who you're meeting with. Meet at a public space. Don't have them pick you up. No. You meet at a public space, coffee shop, dinner, but never meet them at their house. Never.
Yeah. Oh gosh, Maria. Let me know if you're still alive. Blink twice if you need help, girl. Oh my gosh. Let me see what some of these comments say. Joe Baker says, that is not true. My navigator's always sleeping 30 minutes into the drive. Send her to the back, Joe. Hush your mouth. And Joanne says, no. Thank you, Joanne. Sylvia Jennings says no. Oh my gosh. Chon coming in here with a strong no. And CPJ says, the fact that you have to ask tells us you need to be chaperoned on all outings. I agree. You do need Maria does not need to be dating. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you that right now. Joe says, if she's asking a question that dumb, let her go. Weed out the dummies. Natural selection. I mean, that's like yeah. And I do need more content. So Maria, go for it, girl. No, people seriously do not. So okay.
He had this really cool decoration though at his apartment.
He wanted to show me something.
Had these chalk lines.
Yeah. So real quick, just before probably today, at some point, I was on TikTok today, and this lady who was with she specifically said my narcissistic husband or boyfriend. I said specifically like I knew. Anyway, narcissistic whatever. Something or other, significant other.
Yeah.
Said it says like, what point did you break off your relationship? Well, she walked in on him in the shower having a fictional conversation with her dad and telling her how she fell into a mine shaft. She said, we discovered mine shafts when they were off exploring.
Like the week prior.
Like the week prior. And he was having a conversation with her dad, even, just making it up about how she'd fallen in this mine shaft. He's getting ready to off her.
What?
Yes. Anyway, leave that relationship, man.
What side of TikTok are you on?
I know. I'm on messy TikTok. I'm on drama TikTok. I love it.
You're also on cartel TikTok?
I'm on cartel TikTok. I am. But I'm also on cleaning TikTok, which I'm like, ooh, who cares about cleaning? Just kidding. Just kidding. I send those to Eric. Okay. Next question.
I don't know this person's name, but
his name's Lucky.
Lucky, yeah. Okay. I'm not exactly good at anything romantic, and I've never tried too hard. But my girlfriend's birthday is in a month, and for my birthday, she took me on a trip to Dallas for some glass blowing lessons and dancing. I have no idea what to do. I probably don't deserve her, lol. But jokes aside, any ideas, ladies, gentlemen, anybody?
So this guy sucks at being romantic, and he doesn't try too hard. I'm glad that he admitted that.
Acknowledges it.
But I mean, she's telling you.
Hey,
Oh no, she said for his birthday she took him on a trip.
On a cool trip.
On a cool trip. So, dude, go ahead, B. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay. Well, just going off of that, like she took the time and she made the effort and it's her money to take you on a trip. I would suggest the same for him to be something, what is her interest? Is there something she's been mentioning that she wants to go to and try? And you're saying you're not the most romantic guy. Pay attention to the little details. Like if, before you go on the trip, maybe get her some flowers or have flowers ready at the hotel for her. What is her favorite restaurant? Little things like that, something that's meaningful. It seems like she likes to go on experiences, so maybe do this. I would say do the same, but something that of her interest. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, match her energy. I think that's like the best. I mean, she took you to glass blowing. Like, I would like to do that. That'd be cool. What have you done? My gosh. I just can't. I would say match her energy. Like she went all, that's like you had to Google that.
Well, the good thing is that he's asking these questions a month in advance.
That's good. That is good.
Rather than 2 days in advance. So
yep.
Yeah. So definitely, because she has a love language. You need to figure that out.
His is glass blowing.
Yeah. And dance lessons. That's cool. I like that. That's pretty cool. I would never do that for you, though.
Yeah, please don't.
I mean, you're welcome. Like Eric's love language is a baseball cap. That's what he gets.
That's why I have.
He's got like a hat problem. So do I. Okay, let me catch up on some of these comments. Joe says, Sandy sends me strange stuff, which affects my feed. Occasionally, I'll send you a photography thing or two, Joe. CPJ says, assistant, who did you marry?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good question. Oh, here we come in. Oh, here's a good, give her a robotic vacuum cleaner. They all love those.
Or a toaster.
Oh no. You're about to be single, dude.
I mean, if you want to be a single lucky guy, listen to that toaster advice.
A pressure cooker.
And this, okay, so Joe, probably in my 20s, Joe, I would have been like, get rid of this guy. But now I'm like, hey, that's a good idea. I mean, I told you one time, if like you get me a vacuum cleaner, I'll beat you with it. But now I'm like, we need a vacuum cleaner. But not for my birthday, but for your birthday.
Mm.
but she took him on a vacation. And if you get that person, it sounds like they don't have kids, they don't have like a household yet together. I don't know about a vacuum cleaner. She might
but Joe's a genius though. She took him on vacation and she gets a vacation from pushing the vacuum cleaner. The robot's going to do it for her. Right, Joe? That's what you meant, right?
Well, we don't know where this guy's from. I mean,
he's from Texas. Get her some boots.
A trip to Dallas. He could have been from Fort Worth or something.
Right.
Right, wait.
Okay. Yeah, probably. Okay. So CPJ says that's when your relationship has made it. Which part, CPJ?
I have no idea.
Right. I got a little behind.
I think we lost the context.
We did. Sorry, CPJ. Joe says take her to Fur's buffet when she can eat anything she wants. And you know what?
Oh no.
Fur's is closed.
Do we have any more Fur's?
Fur's is closed. And oh my gosh, do not go to Golden Corral. If someone takes me to Golden Corral, if you ever think about taking me to Golden Corral, it's over. I'm just going to tell you that right now. It's going on record. Never.
You don't like that chocolate fountain?
No. Eric gets trips for Sandy as gifts. Is it?
Yeah, sure.
Sandy gives herself things. Sandy drops hints. Eric just books it. see. Please don't one up on each other. Recipe for disaster. Yeah, I think if you one up, I feel like you have to keep escalating every single year. So that makes sense. Yeah, don't one up. No. And see,
but then that doesn't really follow, because what do you do for your first anniversary as a husband and wife? You know what I mean? Like, you get them something cheap.
You get a paper gift. What's the first year anniversary one?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And so
I've never liked that, by the way.
You would want to, make it progressive, progressively get better every year, right? But so if you start off with like, okay, well, I'm going to get you this, then you got to one up it. You got to one up yourself the next year, and then the next year, and then the next year. So
what? Don't get them crap.
That
way they don't have
low.
any expectations. That's what Eric's saying.
That means you got to forget completely your first anniversary. That way, just remembering their second anniversary, makes it better.
How are you married? Sean says, do it. And Joanne's damn phone's going crazy on her. All right. Next question. Lucky, I hope we were able to help you.
Probably not, though.
Look. Joe says, yeah, pace your gifts out.
That's what I'm saying. You got to pace them. Only get good ones like every 5 years or so.
And I'm just going to tell you right now, he has never done that. Otherwise, he would not be sitting here as my assistant. Okay, just to tell you that. I drop hints. Listen, Joanne says, a gift from the heart is not the cost, and not the cost. That's true. I'm going to tell you a funny story, and I don't have it to do a picture. On one of our anniversaries, Eric had not thought of anything. So Eric decides to go to Costco. Eric decides to go to Costco, and he sees a little island with necklaces on it, and he picks one up. It just says diamond something. So he's like, hell yeah, I'm getting her diamonds for her anniversary. He gets home with said crusty little dusty necklace. And it does not have diamonds in it. It's just like a crisscross pattern. And it's just like basically diamond cut.
And it was pretty expensive too. So
yeah.
There's that.
Anyway, I wear that necklace and I love it so much because it's like a running joke now. I'm like, hey, I'm wearing my anniversary necklace. My diamond necklace. What he thought was a diamond necklace was not a diamond necklace. But anyway. Yeah. He's learned his lesson. Now he really puts a lot of thought into it.
That wasn't but going back to that one, that wasn't because like I didn't.
You're a procrastinator.
Well, no, it was more because I was just working a ton of hours at the time and I didn't have time.
Uh-oh, Eric.
Babe, now you're just trying to play the sympathy card with your ugly necklace.
No.
Alex says, hey, B.
Alex.
Oh, yeah. Nothing for us, huh? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Hey, son. It's your parents. How's it going? There's a lot of enthusiasm for B. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen on this one. Oh, go ahead, B. Go ahead.
Okay, just on a side note, coming from the flower business. Okay, for all those who love to order flowers for their wives or miss occasions and they try to make it up with flowers, please read, and you order them online where it says small, medium, and large. Read how much flowers are in the actual arrangement, because I have seen some men order flowers for their ladies, and they think because they're paying $100, it's a beautiful arrangement, but it turns out to be like a small little one. I'm like, ooh, I would be mad at my husband if they got me that. So just pay attention to what you order when it comes to flowers. Read how many is actually in the bouquet. Just letting y'all know.
Thank you, B. That's some wise words. Read. That's what Eric needed to do. He just picked it up because he was working long hours. I can't stand you for saying that. So busy, this guy. He's working long hours to provide for his family.
I was.
And he thought he was buying diamonds.
Super long.
Okay, so here's this picture. And this mom comes in here and says, at what age is this okay for your daughter to wear this outfit? And she also included that her daughter wants to wear this to the mall. And she does not agree with this. B, I'll let you go first.
Ooh, okay. This little outfit. Okay. Nike, okay. It's cute. I will say that. Now, if my daughter was trying to walk out of the house in this little outfit, call me old school. But honey, you're not gonna wear that until you're off in college. You can do you. You can do you, honey. But
Right.
as long as as long as you're in my household, I'm not. I wouldn't. I know, like, I'm all for expressing yourself, but that to me, honey, is just a little bit too much skin when you're still in high school or middle school. No, it doesn't show their innocence. Like, it's fashionable, but how do you want to present yourself to other people?
Right. Eric, what do you have to say for yourself?
No.
So this is so funny because Eric will be like, we'll be out in public and he's like, I would never let my daughter go out looking like that.
Yeah.
So you can basically would know that our daughter would be like in long skirts and probably moo-moos.
Yeah, I think I seen a TikTok the other day, and it was like a dad that handed his daughter. He's like, "This is a dad approved swimsuit," and so she put it on, and it was like one of those, like from like the 1800s,
almost dress style, yeah, with the bonnet.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, like I was never allowed to wear like shorts, like short shorts. So you can close that out. So you know, and I'm kind of, you know, now looking at this, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could let my daughter wear that. I mean, I'm not that I don't think, I know that I couldn't, just because that's so ugh. I just can't. There's just too many creepos out there. I can't.
Yeah, no.
I just go ahead.
Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, every time we see something like that, I'm just like thankful that I don't have daughters. You know,
Got lucky there.
Yeah. I mean, maybe at home if you're outside trying to tan or something, but just not in public. There's too many creeps. I'm sorry. And with all these sex rings that you hear about, oh no, just scary. Let me catch up on some of these comments. Joanne says, I don't let Rudy buy me diamonds. I just buy them and tell him, look what you bought me, LOL.
I just got Cindy's nails done today at lunch
for Father's Day. Yes, thank you. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
my manicure. And Chon says, no, thank you. And he also says 100. CPJ says, age to wear that outfit when she's with the Lord, period. Ask the Lord how he feels about that. Joe says, have to be careful with that. If you try to start shaming their clothing, that will only make them more rebellious and they will resent you. So, yes, in high school, I was, like I said, I was not allowed to wear certain things. So I would wear certain things underneath my clothing and then wear that. And then I would wear my things that I left my house with. So yeah, totally agree with that.
and it's easy for us to sit here with no daughters and say,
Right.
no, there's no way that we would ever let her leave the house with that. But you know,
Yeah, that's a good point, Joe. CPJ says, but with that said, I'm teaching my son why that is not okay to go after as well. Don't give that attention. Yeah. But you know, I always tell Eric, I'm like, these girls, when you see some of these girls, they're with all their goods exposed. I'm like, well, you can't sell the goods if you don't share your goods, show your goods. So yeah. Let's see. Joanne says less is best because the guys are wondering. And when you advertise, then it's out there. I agree. I think it sends out messages. Joe says, my girls never wore stuff like that because they never wanted to, but I was prepared for the talk. And then go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's just about explaining to them why I don't feel, you know, why you should be wearing this, and just giving them an explanation. Because I know, like with Sandy, like growing up, I played tennis, and it was hard for my mom to see me play in shorts. She would want me to be playing in sweats with this West Texas,
Right.
Texas. And I'm like, but Mom, I'm miserable. And I would look at all the other girls, and I'm like, they get to wear shorts. So it's just having that conversation with them why you believe it's not, why you don't feel comfortable with them wearing that.
Right. Because I said so
right.
doesn't fly. You have to explain. So,
or just like Joe said, just getting angry or whatever and telling them no way, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, explain to them, about dignity and, all that stuff.
So Tammy says, check on your friends who are mothers of teenage daughters. We are not okay. Tammy, though, but the way you dress, I feel like is a very good example because you're fashionable, you're cute, and I feel like you set that example for your daughter. And that goes for moms setting examples for their daughters as well. So let's see here.
But on that front, I think, if I don't know, this is just my perspective, but if you were having this conversation, I feel like it's better coming from the mom telling the daughter why it's not acceptable other than the father. I think that's a woman to woman conversation more so than the dad.
Joe brings up another point here. He said, it's so crappy that the girls are the ones that have to cover up. We need to hold boys responsible for their behavior. Can't always go around blaming women or girls for the clothes. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's conversations that we've had with ours about respecting yourself and respecting other people. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. That's the thing. Conversations, communications have to be had. You can't just say no and dig in your heels and that's it. Because that's when you get rebellion and that's when you get everything else that you don't want to. We have to step up as parents. We have to break these generational curses where it's because I said so and that's it. Like there was no room for you to ask any ands, ifs, or buts. So yes, definitely agree with that. Joanne says it's called self-respect and you should respect yourself before others will. Yep, I agree on that point as well. And Sean, we are making him giggle tonight. I appreciate that. Okay, let's get into one more question. Let me see. This is a really lighthearted one. Okay, ready?
Yeah. So when it comes to your spouse, do you return change after he or she sends you to do a purchase? Or do you keep the change as a tip
for doing said purchase?
I always keep the change.
Yeah, you do. You always keep the change. He really does. That's like not even a joke. And one, we hardly ever have cash, but when he does, he keeps it. And then I'm like, where's my change at? But I don't think you've ever given me cash for me to keep your change. The only cash I have is my dog. B, what do you think?
Well, I don't have a significant other, so I can't tell you on personal experience, but I can tell you on like with my parents from just, seeing how they work their finances. And I think when my mom sends my dad to go run an errand, he comes back with the money and gives it back to her. So
yeah, that was with my parents too. They always gave each other the change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they did.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the money goes back into the household.
Yeah,
yeah, and I think it's all. I mean, if it was something where it was, significant, then we would definitely.
Have talk.
But we're all, I mean, and it also kind of depends on how you have your finances. If you have it where, each of you has your own split, like y'all split everything and do all this. But if you have, we kind of make sometimes, this has nothing to do with cash, but sometimes me and Sandy have, kind of a little inside joke type thing. And she's like, well, I'll get it this time. And it's basically a debit card to our joint account.
Oh yeah, I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Where's this going?"
So it's like she's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll get it."
Yeah,
but it's the same card that I would have paid with anyway.
Because I'm a gentle woman like that. I always take care of our tab. Okay, let me catch up on some of these lines real quick. Joe says, in school, boys have 3 to 5 lines of dress code and girls have like 10 to 15. Yeah, that's true. True that. Joe also said, I never expect to receive change. Yep. What are you talking about? Yep. I never expect to receive change either, Joe. CBJ says, we have modesty level values in our home we believe in and started training from go. Our values are not for everyone and that's okay. But for us, it's a matter of the heart for the girls as well as in the boys, the way they respond to modesty or lack thereof. Yeah, true. I like that. Good one. Chon said, yes. So y'all better give Chon his change back. You ain't trying to leave y'all no tips. And Tammy says, don't ask, don't tell. Agreed, right? Like what change, you filthy animals?
You're like, you gave me the exact right amount.
Right. Joanne says, no, absolutely not. You give the change back. This is what I was brought up with. Yeah, everybody had their own. Like my mom, this is just like for me to my mom. Like if she sent us to do something, we were going to give her exact correct change. She wasn't messing around. We also had to get change from the collection basket as children. And that's not a Jeff Foxworthy joke. That's true life.
Jeff Foxworthy.
I mean, it is one, but I mean, I lived that true life. I had to get change back from the Lord. I'm not even kidding. True story. Mom was like, how embarrassing. But my mom lived to embarrass us. I believe it. Anyway, guys, we have gone over our hour. We have a few more questions to go, but if you guys want it, we can do another episode of Sandy Gives Sheet Advice. What was your thing? Sheety advice?
Who gives a sheet?
Who gives a sheet about what Sandy has to say? That's just too long because CPJ gives a sheet about it. Anyway, guys, I'm not sure if I'm coming back next week just because I'll be traveling. I don't think that I will. I think it's a travel date for us. But anyway, I'll surprise you. I'll let you know. Keep up with the Facebook. Keep up with the Instagram. I try to update those pretty regularly. But B, thank you so much for hopping in here. Eric, thank you for letting me twist your arm so that you could hop in here. And guys, if y'all have any show topics, if you want to be a guest, if you want to answer, if you want to give some good advice, then y'all holler at me. But anyway, as usual, hold on. Let me remember what word is it I'm trying to say. Yeah, y'all have a good night. And remember, let's keep talking sheet.